What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Press X Podcast, episode 72, your weekly podcast for gaming news and opinions coming at you each and every Monday at noon Eastern. I'm Kevin McManus. With me, Nick Hassell.
Yep, that's me.
And Kellen Williard. Took a sip at an inopportune time.
It was on purpose.
Sounds about right. Today, we're going to be talking some Injustice 2, since that came out. We missed last week as far as news goes, so there's a little bit extra this week that we would have talked about if we did the news. So, Tekken 7, we got Far Cry 5 news, we've got Witcher news, a bunch of stuff.
All the stuff.
But before we hop into it, I do want to say the audio on last week's video was off by like a second for the first 30 minutes or something like that. Sorry. Been doing pretty well up until this point, but I messed that one up a little bit. Yeah, it is.
He's fired.
Yep. See you
Don't
guys.
worry about it.
Oh no, he can still do it. I'm not doing it.
And the other thing, the Gamer versus Gamer, I'm officially moving to a whenever schedule.
When we get to it.
It's too hard to try and force the production on that, so I'm still going to try to keep it consistent.
Just with months and Persona in it.
I'm still going to try to keep it consistent, but I'm not going to, beat myself up over it if I miss one like I did. So let's start with what we always start with, what we've been playing, and I want to hear from Nick.
Yes. Ooh, okay. So I was still probably around last weekend still in the Persona drought, or the post-Persona depression, I guess, that I was in, and I was trying to figure out what to play. I had dabbled in Horizon a couple of times because, like I said many times, I've left myself at a good stopping point at Horizon, so I can pick it back up again and jump into the main chunk of the game. Still couldn't get back into that, so I was just wasting my time with movies and anime and a bunch of shows and stuff like that, just to kind of, hey, I need to do something. Decided the best way to break out of the Persona depression was to play Persona 2, that is.
Similar to what I did.
So I jumped to 2, which has kind of been what I'm wanting. I meant to play it before 5, not that it was necessary or anything. I had just kind of planned it out that way, but PS4 and PC kind of had a big winter/spring this year. A lot bigger.
Well, I guess Xbox didn't have too much, but the year had a big.
Yeah.
They had that one game.
Half a year.
Yeah. So the tail end of 2016 and the start of this year, pretty big. A lot bigger than expected, so that was one of the things that got shifted. Anyways, jumped into it. For those who don't know, Persona 2 is split into 2 games for the most part. Innocent Sin and Eternal Punishment. Playing Innocent Sin, it's the first one. Playing through that, and my first thought about it once I was a couple hours in and really got the hang of it is wow, this is different.
Oh yeah, different team worked on it.
Yeah,
it's before they It's before it was a whole spin-off.
Yeah,
basically from Shin Megami Tensei.
Mm-hmm.
It's still very much a Shin Megami Tensei
The thing
game.
I probably compare it to is going back to play Grand Theft Auto 2.
Oh,
right
wow.
Before 3 made that transition to a different view.
Yeah, that's a big difference.
Yeah, because you're playing 3 right now. Spoilers for what we're playing, but
we've already talked.
It's only been a month.
I just watched you play that a little bit ago, and I've already beaten in whatever. But seeing that again, I was like, wow, that is a drastic jump between 2 and 3. That was the biggest of the series. For the most part, there's no day-to-day mechanic. There's no social links or confidants. There's no main hub to progress time, anything like that.
And sounds terrible.
The game has random encounters. So normally in these dungeons you can see hey, there's the enemy. I'm gonna go run up and try and get an advantage over him or try and dodge him. This one's just random. Mm-hmm. It's not like Pokemon where there's patches of grass and you have safe zones. It's just a free for all. You're in the dungeon. Good luck. Yeah. So there's that. Those are the main differences. The battle mechanics are another big change. I like them a lot. It took a while to get used to, and I was talking to you about it. I think Persona 5 helped me adapt to it a lot better than 3 and 4 would have. The big thing about 2 is talking to the enemies that you fight. So you have the option to, right at the start of the fight, you can just talk to them and skip it altogether and get some rewards for it, or just fight them and kill them and move on. And that didn't happen in 3 and 4 and in any of the games in between those. And so I think 5 because it does have that system built into it, and it just made it easier. So I think it worked out in the end. I think I like 2 a lot more after playing 5 than I would have if I had done it before.
Tried it first,
So glad that worked out. For the most part, I like all the people in the game. You get your party members excruciatingly fast in this game. It's not one of those where 3 and 4 are kind of 60 to 80 hour games. Most people's playthroughs at least. They're kind of spaced out as far as how you get members. They trickle in. You have 3 for a while. You get a 4th. You get a 5th. Blah blah blah. This one, it's just, hey, you're an hour in. Here's 5, and it's just like, wow, okay, here's everybody. But like I said, there's no social link, so there's no like natural way to branch story-wise into these other people. It's just, hey, we all have something in common. Let's go. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a bit different. It's a lot different style of storytelling than 3 and beyond. It's taking some time to get used to, but it's more like traditional. So it just feels like an RPG and not a Persona game in that sense. But really digging it. And I'm about 20 hours in. I think it's like 50 hours, just Innocent Sin.
Yeah.
And then who knows with the second part. We'll get to that at some point. Second game I played, Heroes of the Storm, Blizzard MOBA game.
It's not
sorry.
bad.
Yeah, it's supposed to be just god-awful.
So this past week there was an Overwatch announcement, and what they did is they combined rewards and bonuses into that game. So if you played Heroes of the Storm, certain playlists, blah, 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 you get rewarded in Overwatch with skins and a couple other things. So I was like,
it all makes sense now.
so I was like, screw it. I'll do it. It's free. It's like 10 gig download, so no big deal. Played it with friends. It's actually a really fun game for free, I guess. The thing about it is that it's super simplified. League, which is the most popular MOBA.
League's not complicated.
Okay. The thing about League is that it's, it takes a while to master.
That's what I think about MOBAs.
Yeah. I don't like them. I've never played League.
But anyways, it's super streamlined, super simple. So like anyone can pick it up and play it. You can learn your champion or whatever they're called in the game, a hero most likely.
Shadow of the
You
Storm?
can learn it literally in 1 or 2 matches, whereas League takes forever to master, and then you have tiers and all this other stuff and unlocks you have to do. This one's just, it's more like pick up and play. So it's, I guess, a little bit more like Battleborn in a sense, where you don't have to do hours and hours of unlocks to like fully enjoy the game or like fully be prepared for all fights and stuff like that. The other cool thing about it too is that there's different maps. With all the Blizzard franchises, they have some Overwatch maps, they have some StarCraft maps, and Warcraft and whatever else. But like they all have like a different way to win. It's still the same 5v5 sort of setup, and it still has lanes and towers and like a big core that you're trying to blow up. But there's different ways to win. Some Diablo ones have like you go underneath the ground and fight in a dungeon, and somehow that wins. In StarCraft, you're unlocking these things throughout the map, and there's like a huge Zerg rush at the end. So there's just a bunch of different things. It's pretty cool.
Might be cool if I liked literally one of their game franchises.
StarCraft was cool.
But it was mostly for the Overwatch bonuses, which it was worth it. It was cool to play with friends. It would have sucked if I had just like solo queued it, I guess. But yep, those are the main 2 for me.
I got a whole bunch. So big one, I guess I'll start with Injustice 2. This is the one that came out. Played it for a couple hours. Really enjoyed it. Much better than Injustice 1. Like they fine-tuned everything, even just the animations. There was one point where I was playing as Scarecrow, and I threw my chain hook thing at the person and grabbed them in the middle of them throwing something at me, and their animation completely changed after getting grappled, and the trajectory of the thing dropped and everything. I was like, that was really cool, because in every other fighting game I play, like it's just one attack kind of beats the other one. It's like a priority thing.
Just like stop.
And it was cool that mid attack, their animations and everything changed. Same with when somebody parries the chain attack, it'll grab them and then pull them in, and then when he reaches me or she reaches me, then I get parried. I'm like, oh, that's a cool way to deal with that. But the game's really good. Most of the mechanics are still there from the first game. They've added a couple extra things that you can like meter burn and things like that to give people some advantages. People from the first game, zoning was a huge problem in the first game, and you were talking about them having zoning problems again in the last one. But they've mostly given every character a teleport or an off-screen attack that comes to the other side of the screen to deal with people
gap
that zone.
closers and stuff like that.
And you can dash forward and burn it to like get real close to somebody now.
I will note that I've probably watched about 10 hours. One of the people that we mentioned a while back on some of our favorite streamers, one of mine's fairly big name in the fighting game community, and he's been playing Injustice 2, so I've seen about 10 hours of it, I guess. He plays only Deadshot, so I've seen the most spam.
Play the most boring character.
That sounds awesome.
Because people get mad and it's funny. It's
same
entertainment
reason
purposes.
I played Deathstroke in the first one.
Yeah, I mean, same exact reason.
Same character, actually.
Yeah, just about.
Same guy, kind of. But no, I mean playing.
Oh.
But yeah, I think like my take on it, and I got this quote from him, and it kind of makes a lot of sense. I thought he was just being kind of stupid at first, but
well,
it's definitely because I mean, what you're comparing it to right now is Street Fighter. That's like the only fighting game out. There's King of Fighter and a couple other things that don't really rank anywhere.
Yeah.
But Street Fighter is a big name, and that's obviously Injustice and Tekken 7 are coming for its spotlight, basically, as far as this time of year. Because this is leading up to like Evo tournaments and big things, like their big World Cup thing that they do. So I think Injustice is way better, like a game, like a video game. It's way better. Like it's actually worth $60 with all the customization that you can do.
I was shocked at how good it was,
and the amount of characters and what. Like,
I'm not going to because I'm going to get.
It is a much better video game than Street Fighter. I don't know if it's a better fighter yet, but I mean it's week 1, so these things change week to week. So.
Yeah, I really like everything I've played. I went into it thinking I'd like Captain Cold the most, and I played as him. He's super slow, and something that I noticed with games like I like characters that have combos for buttons that are all different. So like Scarecrow has a circle combo and a square combo and a triangle combo. And like Captain Cold has down forward triangle and down back triangle and down forward triangle back and down forward triangle forward. And I'm like, I'm getting too confused and I keep getting killed. And I don't like this.
But yeah, I think that was a good sign though, whether you want to debate or someone wants to debate which is better, Street Fighter or Injustice. Like this one's at least worth the money you pay for it.
Oh yeah, it's really good.
It is a full complete
at least
game.
Functions on release.
That too. Yeah, it didn't have any hiccups on release.
Yeah,
so
it's really good. The facial animation work is some of the best I've seen in a game. It's really solid. The voice acting is top notch. Fantastic voice acting from everybody, and like the clashes and the intros are all. They have dozens and dozens and dozens for each character. It's so cool. Every character has unique ones depending on who they're with. And then they have some generic ones that kind of fit in between, and I think they're going to be used for DLC characters as well from how they work with premium skins. For people who don't know, premium skins are basically they reskin the entire character, same moveset, but different voice actor and different look. So Jon Stewart for Hal Jordan or Vixen for Cheetah, who's the other character that I actually like playing as. Totally didn't expect to like that one, but I like playing as Cheetah. So just really good all around. There's a story mode. It's short and it has branching paths, and it's got multiple endings. So it's one that you can replay as opposed to the first one, which was long for a fighting game story, I guess.
Yeah.
But it was a really good story, and this one, same camp, really good story. So, Injustice 2. What Remains of Edith Finch? Finally got that one off my my to-do list. I finally broke out of my Persona depression as well. Like I don't know what to play, and I finally broke that. Made by the guys who did Unfinished Swan. It was really good. Walking simulator by definition. All about loss and tragedy. Basically, going into this game, I think the less you know, the better the game's going to be. I think if you have somebody tell you everything, it's not going to be a great experience. But basically, the gist of it is you go to a house, everyone in the family for the house is dead, and every time someone dies, they just board up their room and leave it. So you go through this house, and when you go into the person's room, you relive how they died. And the cool thing is there's a whole bunch of people that have died, so there's a whole bunch of different stories. And the cool thing is every story plays as a different video game. So one of them's like a first-person thing, one of them's like an RPG, One of them's like, they're all different. And some of them are really unique and really cool. And I'm like, I would totally play a game just this story. Like, if you just made this story. And, like, there's so many that I would love to talk about, but I don't want to spoil them because, like I said, the less you know, the better. There's music choices and things that are in that game that I was just playing, and I'm like, holy shit, this is so cool. Like, I can't believe they're doing this. So, yeah, really good. It does have some technical problems for surezies. There's texture flickers and stuff like that, but nothing that disrupts the actual gameplay of it. Just little problems like that. Like, I wouldn't be like 10 out of 10, best game ever. You know, it's got technical problems.
Wait, don't technical issues earn you a 10 out of 10?
No,
Isn't that
no.
the theme of this year?
No, the game wasn't named Zelda.
You gain a point.
As far as Unfinished Swan goes, I think I like Unfinished Swan more, but I also, when I finished Unfinished Swan and I looked a whole bunch of stuff up for it, that was like a more hyped game, I feel like. So there was a whole bunch of information on it from people beating it and talking about the game and such. And this one, I just haven't seen that much of people talking about it. So it's like, I like listening to theories on what people think happened and all this stuff. Kind of build your own story from the environmental storytelling that the game gives you. And I just haven't seen a lot of people talking about it, which is unfortunate because it's definitely nothing short of very good. Like, it is a really, really good game. But if you liked Unfinished Swan or, you know, Firewatch,
I like Firewatch.
all those games, it's definitely one of those that it's worth checking out, and gets real trippy and weird, and it's like super depressing. Like, obviously, it's a super sad game, but they use a lot of like magical, almost like Fantasia or something, like magical undercurrents
buckets and stuff?
What? What'd you call me?
Nothing.
To tell the story. So really good. Next up, Persona 3, playing the female story. Pretty different. I'm actually liking the female story better because of the main character. She's got more personality. The male lead is very blank slate, very depressed, very
by design, too.
Yeah,
he's supposed to
very
be
quiet. She's a lot more upbeat, and therefore, when people talk to her, they're a lot more upbeat. It seems
Does
like
she have the same past as him? It's just literally a gender swap? The same backstory?
As far as the story goes, yes.
Okay. I was going to say she might have a better reason to be more upbeat.
Yeah, no.
If she doesn't have that miserable backstory that he does.
Jesus.
No, yeah, she's more upbeat. Her story is different. There's definitely changes in the story and things like that. But really liking it. Don't want to go too much into it because we'll talk about it when we do that Persona thing. That whenever we get to that. And then the other,
it's looming.
Yeah, it is. And then the other big one is arcade games. I've been working on building an arcade cabinet. Went to the arcade, played a whole bunch of games, checking them all out. Soul Calibur 2 was a real big standout.
Yeah, that's a great arcade game.
I loved that game as a kid, but like I don't like 3 and 4.
2 just plays extremely well.
And I went back and played 2. I'm like, why is this game so much better than these other ones? Like, it's so good. Another game that I played was called Dice Devils, which I really, really liked. And it is a PlayStation 1 game that has a 2-player mode, and it's a puzzle game. And basically, it's just a grid with a bunch of dice on them sporadically, not covered, but each a grid space could be 1 die. And you have little characters that stand on them, and when they walk, the dice rolls underneath them, and you basically eliminate the dice by, if there's a 2, you need to flip until there's a 2 touching it. If there's a 3, you need to get 3 dice that all touch that. If it's a 6, you need 6 dice all flipped with the 6 side up to get rid of all of them. And in multiplayer, you're like knocking each other off the dice, and it's actually really, really fun. I totally didn't. It was just something that I saw in a suggestion. I was like, I guess I'll check it out. I was like, this game is sweet. So really, really enjoyed that. But yeah, just going through a bunch of arcade games, trying to figure out what I would want in an arcade cabinet.
You've done all the easy part. You haven't actually built the cabinet or anything.
No. That's just a directing role.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm not going to cut off my fingers.
Oh, my God.
You're up, Kellen. What have you been playing?
Do I have to build the cabinet? Is that what you're telling me?
I mean, you can.
I don't want to. Anyways, so I finally started and finished Beyond Two Souls. Been meaning to get to that for a while. Played the PS4 version, if it matters. I don't think there's much difference.
Yeah, it might just look better. I don't know.
It looks really good. Like it looks a lot like an Uncharted game. That kind of look to it. Not as good as 4, but has that kind of feel. I like that game a lot, quite a bit.
Did you like Heavy Rain more or that one?
I think I like Heavy Rain more, very
I do
slightly.
too.
Like I think they're a lot closer than people say they are.
People trash Beyond, and
I have no idea why.
I understand one reason why they trash it.
I get the order thing, that makes sense, but they fixed that.
Oh yeah, did you play it in order?
No, I played in the original order.
Okay.
I want to play it again in chronological order.
Yeah, so for people who don't know, when you play that game, it's out of order.
It's chopped up like Pulp Fiction, Tarantino
and
style.
there's
Like it's just
no like reveal that makes the reasoning for that make sense.
Yeah.
Like you don't do it and then go, aha, that's why all of these pieces were missing. You just get to the end and you're like, why was the game out of order?
As the timeline was filling in, I kept looking for that. I'm like, is this the aha moment? Nope.
Yeah,
Is that
there is no
Nope.
aha moment. So when it came out on PS4, they're like, how about you play the game in order? Actually, you can do it on PS3, but you have to beat it first.
Yeah.
And it's like, how about we just put the game in order? And it's like, oh, it's probably, I imagine,
a good
an
idea.
even better game that way. But yeah, I liked it too. People trash it.
I liked it quite a bit.
I
It
don't.
was fine.
I think it's worse than Heavy Rain, but I still think it's
Yeah.
good.
It is good.
Definitely
Definitely.
worth playing.
I like the ending that I got because it's a multiple ending thing.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty happy with it.
Yeah, I was even happy with my ending. That's how good of a game it is.
Jesus.
Wow.
But my
That's
ending.
surprising.
I didn't say it was a good ending, but I was.
No.
I mean, the ending was good. What happened in it wasn't, but I liked the ending.
Okay.
It makes sense.
That makes a lot more sense. Then he
Like-
got like a true ending or something. I was like, whoa.
No. He got an
Wait a
ending he was
second.
okay with. Not somebody crying at a bar. But anyways,
All right.
my ending would have
Repeat
set up
that
a
game.
sequel really well, but I guess it doesn't really matter because there's multiple.
Yeah, that's like Infamous. Infamous 2 has two endings. I mean, I guess all of them have multiple
Yeah, they have
endings.
split endings.
But they're like, this one's canon. And they actually went off trophy data to pick what ending was
the
canon.
most popular.
Yeah, the most popular one, which is always going to be the good one. Because
No,
if you ask 100 people to make a choice and one's good and one's bad, even if it's in a video game, more than 50% are
No,
gonna
it's
pick
a
the good
video game.
choice.
I'm murdering everyone.
Yeah, but you're just a terrible person.
Well, yeah, we already knew that.
How many people you murder in Beyond?
Good God. What was my quote from Saturday? Oh, yeah, the scene with the shotgun. There were no survivors.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that game was good. I liked it. I need to go through Heavy Rain now because I get that 2-disc package thing off
Yeah.
Amazon.
And that's a real fun one to replay because it branches so much.
There's a lot of branches in that I haven't seen or know anything about. What else did I do? Played a little more Persona 4 Dancing All Night.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, I was like, I really want to play Mario Strikers Charged, the Wii Mario soccer game.
That is weird.
Luckily, it's on the Wii Marketplace, so.
That's why you're like, I turned on my Wii U.
I had to
was
fire
like,
up
why
the
would you
Wii.
turn on your Wii U?
So I
It
can
all
play
makes sense now.
Mario Strikers Charged, the 10-year-old Mario soccer game. It's still fun.
Yeah.
Except the Wii U doesn't like it. It's in standard definition because the Wii game.
Mm-hmm.
So everything was green. So I had to tell my Wii U to output in standard definition.
Oh.
And then it worked.
That's weird.
It was weird, but it
I've
worked.
played Wii games on my Wii U and haven't had that
I
problem.
looked it up, and it's kind of a not common problem, but a lot of people have seen
It's
it.
a known problem.
It's a known problem. Said it's kind of a TV thing. Yeah, I ran out of HDMI ports, so I have to turn on the Xbox to turn on the Wii U, and it passed through.
Oh, gee, well, that might be
Nice.
the problem.
That probably didn't help any. And then yesterday, that Fire Emblem Echoes game came out and showed up
Yeah.
at my door.
Nick, how you liking that?
I'll tell you next week.
How's that?
About an hour and a half into it, done a couple fights and done basically the origin, the opening of the game. I like it quite a bit. Quite different from the last couple Fire Emblems.
Yeah.
Because it's a remake of an old one. Like
Real
second
old.
Fire Emblem. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a couple different things in it, like the archers are different. The weapon triangle is just gone. Like there's no rock, paper, scissors. It's all stat based. There's a couple different new features that I like. They're like terrain matters now. Well, it matters a little more. Like if you're
makes
in
a lot of sense.
Having like the high ground and such.
yeah, like if you're in the woods, your evasion's higher because there's trees and stuff around you. If you're behind a wall, you've got
It's
better
like
defenses.
a tabletop game
Yeah.
almost.
It plays a lot like a tabletop game. I like
and
that game.
dungeons.
And they added dungeons. I haven't got to a dungeon yet. I think I'm close to one though. So next week.
Talk about that.
The game's fun. I like it. Not real far in it though. Been kind of busy.
Cool.
That's about it.
All right, let's move on to this pile of news that we got. First and foremost, we'll talk about Tekken. Tekken 7 has gone gold. We talk about how we like the gone gold announcement for people
Yeah.
who don't know.
Yeah.
It's the finished printing of the disc for them to...
There's a finished game somewhere in the
for
world.
them to
It
mass
exists.
produce and then go, hey, there's DLC, so that disc doesn't actually mean anything.
This is half the game you'll get.
Yeah. June 2nd, that game's coming out. I looked up the pre-order stuff for the game, and it's actually different on Xbox One and PS4, and I
Yep.
didn't know that. So on Xbox One, they both give you Aliza, who is the She's the vampire that like falls asleep or whatever.
Narcoleptic vampire.
Yeah. She's kind of cool.
It's a weird combination.
Yeah, she's kind of cool. I'm going to check her out. But she comes with both of them if you pre-order. But then if you pre-order on the Xbox One, you get Tekken 6, which is going to be or is backwards compatible.
You would hope.
Yeah.
you have this game. You can't play it,
Yeah,
though.
that's a little strange unless they give it to you early for like digital, which they probably do. But like if you get it physically, it's like, oh, cool, I got Tekken 7. Can't wait to play Tekken 6. And that it's just a little strange.
I'm sure it's a digital download, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's just a little weird. The PS4 one comes with some skins for characters like King, and there's some skins. And then
the only character that matters.
That's not true at all.
No,
it also has jukebox mode, which has all the songs from all the Tekkens, and you can make playlists.
Ooh, I want that more than Tekken 6.
And you can make playlists and play it while you're fighting and everything. So that's really cool. Also, I was talking about going to the arcade. Me and Wendy went to the arcade and played the games. And after we finished, I was like, "So, what was your favorite game?" And she's like, "I like the one with the bear." I was like, Tekken Tag.
Yes. Tekken's awesome. Yeah, we were at a different arcade Saturday.
That's true.
That was fun.
Yeah.
It was a barcade.
Almost killed our release date guy.
He didn't.
Sorry,
spoilers. He did not do the release dates.
My bad, Gareth. My bad.
Yeah, so do we have anything to say about Tekken besides... Are you getting it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm getting it as well. Are you just going to mooch off us and play it when you're here?
I don't know yet. I kind of want it. I kind of want just to have it, just to play.
I'm not gonna like spam online and try to be number one in the world.
I ain't playing it online. No.
I'm not putting that much effort into it.
I actually like playing Tekken online. It pairs you pretty well. It's got a good ranking system.
So pair me with a one-armed guy.
I'll probably do like equal amounts watching and playing, like watching streams of it while I'm doing some of this other stuff. Like it naturally lends itself to like playing a handheld game, so like the Personas or something like that, or Fire Emblem. While that's going on, so I'll do a bunch of watching, and then I'll try to apply that to.
Yeah, no, I'm all aboard the train. I watched the finals from like Evo last year and everything, getting ready for it. Similar to what I did with Injustice before it came out as well. But yeah, I am totally ready. I already know I'm going to play as Lily because it's not like Injustice where they're like, here's 20 new characters that you don't know anything about. Like this is
it's a long-running franchise.
Yeah, mostly
playing Tekken for 20 years. So
yeah. Mostly returning characters and then a couple new ones that I'll check out and see and not like as much as the one that I've been playing for 5 years.
Tekken games, though, are not new player friendly. So
this one I think is.
Well, yeah,
it's a little more.
They're starting to implement more of other game systems.
They're super
in it. But yeah, like historically, these games aren't very new player friendly, so you got to put a little bit of time.
There's a bit of learning curve to Tekken.
It's not so much pick up a controller pad and just start going at it. But
I think you'd be fine doing that as long as you're not playing against somebody who knows how to play. I think if two people that don't know how to play
or me
do it. Heck, I went to the arcade and did it this week. Like, you can just hit some buttons and see what happens. Yeah. Once in a while, you do a cool thing. See, the thing that I always like about Tekken, and I think I brought it up here, is that there's not like a whole lot. There is in this one, unfortunately. You can't zone. There is no zoning character.
No.
Like, there's no range.
It's also 3D.
That's why I like Tekken.
There's no ranged weapons or anything. It's all, like, hand-to-hand combat. Now, it changes a little bit because in this one they added Akuma, who can Hadouken and stuff. And him and the vampire chick are the only two characters in Tekken history and in this game, because they're both debuting in this, who can jump and attack while in the air, like do... Yeah, kind of like the Mortal Kombat dive kicks and stuff. So that's all new. So we're going to have to see how that works. But they also have special meters, and no other characters have that. So it's going to be very different.
You need to put dive kick on your arcade cabinet.
Isn't that a PS3 game?
I don't know what it is, but I like it.
Okay. Moving on. Splatoon. We got a trailer. We got a direct for ARMS that basically they were like, there's Splatoon stuff here, guys. Please watch our direct. Yeah. The ARMS stuff was kind of whatever. They showed off the 2v2 modes and different game modes. Some of them were cool. There's a volleyball mode that looks awesome. I would totally be down. It reminded me of Rocket League.
ARMS from this like took off on social media as far as people talking about it. Because
they revealed characters. Yeah. And there's female characters that people like. And that is why it took off. But yeah, they're kind of doing like the Overwatch thing, giving these characters a little bit of personality and stuff, it seems like. But yeah, there's a volleyball mode, which seemed really cool. There was I a basketball mode where there's no basketball and you have to slam dunk the other player in the net, and just a lot of cool things. I was like, this looks like fun. But I want to see what the game plays like, because you can play it without motion controls.
Yeah.
I want to see how it plays without motion controls, because that will make or break that game entirely for me. It reminds me a lot of Splatoon, where I'm not really excited at all about the game, but I'm curious. Same with Splatoon. And then I played Splatoon and loved it. And maybe if I played this, I would love it too. I don't know.
Well, the other thing was that it was showing that this is an actual full game and not just
two people fighting,
Yeah.
not just
Yeah,
Wii
yeah.
boxing,
that was
and that's it.
That was one of the first questions once they revealed all of the like announcement info. Was like, why is this so expensive for what we saw? But now they're showing.
Yeah, Nintendo's usually pretty good about that, in all honesty. Like, the only games I can think of recently that were like not like that is their tennis game on the Wii U that like randomly came out one winter. You know, it's just like, hey, we have a tennis game that's only the like tennis mode, and that's it, and there's no like extras or anything like that. And then Star Fox was a little bit of a mess.
Yikes! Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
They also revealed a Splatoon single-player trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Looks similar to the single-player of the first Splatoon, except with more to do, which bums me out a little bit, because I always liked the mechanics of Splatoon and always thought it would be a really cool, like, to have a world that you can kind of explore with that, more similar to a Mario. But it's back to the Super Mario Galaxy-style stuff, where it's just, like, platforms, and you do your stuff, and then you completed that, and then you go to a new, all-different platform thing. But
well, I'm sure if it got hit with the same amount of flack that like Battlefront got, then maybe they would adopt it or adapt.
Well, people liked the single. I mean, I liked it, but I just wish it was like a world to explore, and had that lore as opposed to just a platforming thing.
Yeah.
But in this one, basically, Marie is looking for Callie. And that's kind of the story of it. I guess she was kidnapped or whatever.
That's fine.
And Marie won the Splatfest when they did the final Splatfest in Splatoon. And I was curious if Callie won, if their roles would be reversed.
If that mattered, yeah.
Yeah, like if they were waiting to see which one. Because I'm sure it wasn't that, like, they don't voice it. They just go,
yeah,
or whatever.
Yeah, I'm sure it wasn't very resource intensive.
Yeah, so I was just, I'm wondering if there's an alternate timeline where it's the other way around.
Alternate timeline.
Yeah, that's what I want to see.
No.
Yes, it is. You can't tell me what I want to see.
I can. I could be wrong, so, you know.
You are mostly.
Yeah.
Hellblade. That's a game that was announced at the PlayStation 4 reveal event, I believe, because it is a timed PS4 exclusive. It's made by the Heavenly Sword team. And they basically were like, hey, we don't have a big budget, so we're doing live-action CG mixed cutscenes. And I was like, that's probably not going to be good. And then I clicked the video, and it looks okay, but it still makes me worry about the game now. Yeah, they basically just put the people in the outfits and filmed them, and then, like, CG'd around them. So it doesn't...
That still sounds expensive.
Sounds...
Yeah. It does... Well, they're just not named actors.
Yeah.
They're just random
Just
people. I
kids
mean,
off the
sorry if there's, like, a B-budget actor in there that I insulted, but, like...
That's fine.
I didn't recognize any of them.
No Arnold Schwarzenegger.
So that's that A-list actor. So that's how they're tackling that problem. I don't know. I want that game. I really want that game to be good because it seems interesting, but it's been a long time since we've really seen a meaty thing. I don't know. I think we get a release date at E3 for it, but
I haven't heard much about
have one.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, they've been doing like YouTube series updates from their channel. They'll be like, hey, here's a development diary or whatever it is for the game. And it's like, oh, that's cool. And then I'm like, where's the game,
6
though?
months later.
Yeah. But what about the game? Looks a lot like how God of War looks now.
Oh, okay.
Which also looks like Horizon, which also looks like The Last of Us, which also looks like Uncharted. It looks like a Sony game.
I do like some of those.
Moving on to another game I've been playing. I'll go over this one real quick. Pokemon Go has a rock event that's going on for a week. They had trouble with people logging in for the first hour of the event, and I imagine, like they always do, if there's trouble like that, they're going to extend the event, so it'll probably matter a little bit longer. But this goes up Monday, and it lasts till at least Thursday, maybe longer. Basically, Kabuto's, Onix, Almanite, Shuckles, Larvitar, all that stuff are all over the place. This is the best event ever.
I do like Larvitar.
All my favorite Pokemon. You can get Aerodactyls and things are way more common. Pokestops give extra items, so instead of getting 2, you might get 3. I actually think you get 4 no matter what for each Pokestop you spin. And then when you walk with a buddy, you get 4 times the amount of candy for the distance that you walk. So, real good event. And I have a theory. They've announced that they're reworking all the gyms and the combat system. I imagine this is the event to lead up to that because they're giving the extra items and things in the Pokestops. Yeah. And it's like, oh, now you have potions and things to actually fight in this gym. And also they sent this announcement to press, which is kind of a strange thing to do. They're like, hey, we're having a Pokemon Go event. And it's like, why would you send it to different press outlets unless you're trying to raise popularity of the game because you're about to announce
something big's happening?
The combat's changing, and it's not going to be swipe, tap anymore or whatever. So, yeah, that's cool.
Cool.
You brought this one up. Ubisoft revealed Far Cry 5 and Crew 2, and they're just like, hey, we got some games that we're working on.
Yeah, just casually, weeks before.
Yeah,
by the way,
you just sent a message. You're like, oh, I guess E3 isn't the time to announce things anymore.
Yeah, I mean, Ubisoft is pretty dependent on E3, it feels like, most year.
I mean, yeah, they always have a really terrible press conference with dancing.
There's at least a bunch of content.
Giraffes.
Whether you
they
don't
show stuff.
Whether you don't like the games or not, there's still like
or the
20
dancing
announcements or something.
Yeah.
So it's weird for
Far Cry 5 seems like a big one. Like,
yeah,
that is
people
a big one.
Still love Far Cry. Maybe not so much that Stone Age one that they just made. A couple years ago. Yeah.
But Blood Dragon.
But at least the main series games in that one too. And yeah, it's just weird for your like heavy hitters to. It wasn't like a leak or anything too.
It was an investor meeting, as far as I understand. They had a meeting and they were like, "Hey, this is what's going to make you guys money over the next year. We have the Crew 2, which I don't know a single person who played the Crew.
I know a few.
Not I.
Oh, I was going to say Far Cry 5, the new Assassin's Creed, which is Egypt, and we've seen a whole bunch of it and we know about it. And then South Park. You remember that South Park game they announced?
To come out last
2 year, and then it was supposed to come out last year, and then it was delayed
late
until
2016?
February or March, and then now it is set for October 17th. I don't believe you.
Almost made it.
Yeah, I just straight up do not think that game's coming out then.
Looks like we made it.
They put out a new trailer for the South Park game, though. Pretty funny.
Is that what took them so long? Just to make a trailer?
We got to make this trailer, guys.
Well, they make those episodes so quickly. They're literally like working on them an hour or less before they go live. That's a real scary way to do that.
What happens if one of their computers dies?
So, yeah. What do we want? Any interest in Far Cry 5?
Depends on what they're doing with it.
Yeah, we don't know. The only thing we know is the logo is in red, white, and blue. Not like an American flag. It's just outlined in red, white, and blue. A lot of people thought it was a Western, and one of the investors asked about Red Dead 2, like destroying this game, and they were like, it's not a Western. So
answers that.
That's what we know.
They've bounced all over the place. They've done Blood Dragon, which is like an 80s retro kind of craziness.
That thing was awesome.
They've obviously done that Primal one.
That nobody
3 and 4 were a lot more recent or like current times. So I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah,
with some of the older Far Cry
futuristic,
games.
Or like a steampunk thing. Like I have no clue.
Civil War.
Sure,
muskets.
That's fine.
Yeah, they've been all over the place. So that's why, to that question, it depends on what they're doing. If it doesn't look interesting, then
I'm sure we'll know within 2 weeks.
But the good thing is that it is a mainstay Far Cry game and not a spin-off or side project. So
yeah, the side project's cool.
Yeah,
one of them for sure.
The only problem with Primal was it came so soon after 4, and it was a $60 game.
Yeah,
and it was
kind of got
it was
skimmed
4's
over,
map, and it's like, was this supposed to be supposed to be Blood Dragon? Like, and you guys just sold it for $60 because it feels like that's what you did.
Yeah,
had a lot of competition too.
The Witcher is getting a Netflix show. This was kind of a abrupt announcement too. They were just like, hey, they're going to do a Netflix The Witcher. This is way more set in stone than something like that Zelda thing that started last year or whenever that was, and then everybody's like, that's not happening.
I think that's why they went full force with the announcement, so people, like, sort of like the Castlevania announcement.
Every time I see something like on Facebook or whatever, it's always, this is becoming a Netflix show, and I'm like, all this is fake.
I see that every day.
There's
for
no
different
Addams
things.
Family Netflix exclusive, Magic School Bus us may or may not. I don't know. Like, it seems like everybody's just like, oh, Young Justice is another big one.
Yeah,
like,
I've heard that one.
It's not a Netflix show. Stop saying that, people. But yeah, so Witcher is a Netflix show.
This one actually is. It?
But yeah, they came out with a lot more like people who are actually directing, producing, and all that stuff.
Yeah,
and,
a little bit like the
much more of a
Castlevania
full
announcement
than just like they're considering doing this, which that's what a lot of those announcements
People at
feel
Netflix
like.
have heard of The Witcher.
Yeah, I would say that they're going after some gaming stuff because they are doing Castlevania and things, but this isn't actually even tied to the games. This is based off a book.
Yeah.
One of the books. They're working with whoever wrote the book.
The author, yeah.
And he does not like the game at all. He doesn't talk to that. He does not like them. And
long story
like
short, he made some dumb decisions and didn't make any money off of the games, so that's why he doesn't like them.
But they have a mutual partner that they go through that they both like. So that person
they have a go-between.
They can make the show about his books because the books lead up to the games.
Yeah.
So they can. I mean, he's basically got sort of the fictional library of like a George R.R. Martin does for Game of Thrones. So there's a lot.
George Railroad Martin.
There's a lot of wiggle room in there for them to make a 12-hour season or something like that. I don't know what they would do.
I will be watching at least 2 episodes, seeing how I feel.
Nice.
I still don't have Netflix.
Found a show. I don't like Netflix shows. I think the lighting in them's bad, and I just don't like them. But
coming from a DC fan,
but
who can't see any of his movies.
I prefer not to be able to see the movie. Watched Black Mirror. Not bad. Not bad.
Never heard of it.
Only watched 1 episode. But it's like Twilight Zone. Every episode's a different, like, self-contained horror story type thing.
I do like the Twilight Zone, so that's fair.
Moving on, Destiny 2 got a gameplay reveal, and wouldn't you know, it looks like a prettier Destiny 1.
It got a lot of attention this week.
Yeah, Destiny is a huge property.
Yeah.
They did very well for themselves, and people are still playing it like crazy. When you look at the most played games, like the hours thing, Destiny murders. So it makes sense. But yeah, to me, I knew this is what was going to happen. But if they're just like, hey, shoot it, like little clips of what looks exactly like Destiny 1, but bigger and brighter. And
I mean, at least the trailer had more story content than all of
the
1.
first Destiny game.
The
just
first,
packed into that like 3 minutes.
I don't like this Deadpool character guy. He's annoying. I don't know his name, but I don't like him.
I like him.
Yeah, he's an idiot.
I am not going to argue against characters being fleshed out in this game.
That's fair.
Compared to the first game.
You didn't like Queen Bee or whatever her name was?
I liked her, but there was not like it was just aesthetics.
You didn't like her 4 seconds of screen time. She had about the same amount of screen time as the Joker in Suicide Squad.
Ooh.
There was a lot of cool information, and then you watch the game, and it's just like, is this Destiny 1 footage? Or what? Like it's literally just a bit shinier.
Yeah.
And
it just turned up the brightness.
Sony's conference is going to be 15 minutes of Destiny 2, if not more. It's going to be so much Destiny 2 because they got that partnership again. And oh boy. That was one of the most insane partnership deals I've ever seen. First off, their partnership deals are like, they're going the extra mile to get these things because they have everybody. But like Destiny's, it's like you get this for a year and all the DLC you get, and it's like that's a big deal, like to play on your console. It kind of sucks for other people, but like
I think the
know
standout
how they got that
part of the announcements for me was the PC portion of it. They are going to run it through Battle.net or Blizzard's
Blizzard service.
Because it's all Activision.
Yeah. So no Steam, and obviously no Uplay or any other bad platform.
We don't get to deal with Uplay?
Yeah.
Dang.
Or even Origin. Origin's pretty terrible too.
It works most of the time.
It functions. It is a thing.
That's the best I can say about it.
But not only that, the console games going to run at 30 frames, PC fully unlocked frames. But
144.
I think it runs 60 on the Pro.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about Scorpio and Pro.
Scorpio.
Yet.
I think the Pro is 60, 1080p,
1080 60.
and 4K 30.
Gotcha.
That makes sense. 4K.
But I mean, when you start playing online, like you can't have varying like everybody should just run at the same thing, and I think that's how that's going to work on the PS4. Everybody will probably be.
Why can't you have different frame rates?
why can't you?
I would want to be the guy with 60. By the way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like
Multiplayer.
I think I don't know. In fact, I thought maybe that was in the PlayStation Pro's like bullet points. Is that
it
online,
can't have an advantage online.
It can't have any sort of advantage online, so it'll probably be. And since that game is online only, maybe that's why it's 30. That might make sense. I don't know. I haven't looked into it.
Just a hard
I don't
cap.
care. I know I'm getting the game.
Hard
so
cap
whatever.
for everybody. Yeah.
But the kind of double-edged sword of that PC announcement of those good things, and it's got like 21:9 support for the monitors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Lots of good information, but it's
not
delayed.
coming out. Yeah.
It
Well, they don't know when it's releasing.
A delayed
is the
release,
quote.
at least. Yeah.
They said we don't know when the PC one's coming out.
Guess I'm not getting that game on release.
So yeah, we'll miss the boat on that. So that also tells me that there's not going to be any crossplay.
Oh God, no.
So that kind of sucks too.
No,
'Cause
I wouldn't think there'd be crossplay.
if I'd say
the community's
maybe
too big.
I'd say maybe 20 people on my PSN friends list play Destiny.
Oh yeah, I've never seen
mine-
more people play a game than Destiny.
But
Unfortunately,
of those 20, as far as them moving over to PC, like maybe 2. So that sucks to kind of leave them, because I mean I went through the initial release of the game all the way through the first raid or whatever. I went through that pretty hardcore with that like large set of people, so it sort of sucks to move away from that and not have at least the chance to do some of that multiplayer stuff. But yeah, when it gets into PC versus console, as far as not wanting an advantage, that's a whole different ball game, especially if you're
maybe for the
uncapped-
co-op stuff and things, but
Yeah.
the competitive thing.
yeah,
maybe
when
lock
you're
it to your rooms, or
un-
just to have a little toggle in your settings. No PC players in my room. Like that's usually what they do. Like in Rocket
Yeah.
League, you can just be like, I don't want to play with PC players.
They're better
Yeah.
than me. I don't want to play with
Yeah,
them.
I don't want to play with those guys. They cheat and hack the game, and
Yeah,
it's a bunch
I was
of
pretty
bullshit.
happy with
No,
all
they
these
don't.
announcements though. Pretty cool, but
Nobody cheats.
But I can definitely empathize with the people that are just like, so this is a $60 expansion. It's like, yeah, pretty much.
I'll get it.
Me too.
Moving on.
Eventually.
Just don't know when.
Alan Wake has been removed from digital services. It's not on Steam or Xbox or anything like that anymore. They did a sale for its last week. It was like $3 for the game or something. Basically, it has music license, and they don't have the rights to it anymore. So
And
buy
just
game.
going through the trouble of getting them back is
Yeah.
not worth
So-
it for a very dead game.
So that game's gone. If you want to play it now, you'll either
hope
have
you already
to,
have it.
you'll have to find a digital code that hasn't been used or whatever, or get it physically for the 360, which I've been working on doing. I keep getting outbid on eBay. It's driving me crazy. I put in an offer before the show.
I don't think I ever
hope get it.
downloaded my copy of it. I was supposed to get. Oh well.
I've never actually played that game, and I really want to. I've been told multiple times I'll like it, and then I saw this. I was like, ooh, I should probably get this game.
Need to do that
right
now.
Yeah, you had a few years to get that game.
Yeah, but I didn't care until it's. You don't know what you have until it's gone. It's the old saying.
Yeah.
They said it.
They.
Moving on. Lego Marvel Superheroes 2 has been announced. Very surprising announcement. It seems like it mixes a lot of the MCU, like movie universe, and then a little bit of just Marvel
Hey, whatever.
things
Yeah.
in general.
Random Marvel things.
Yeah, I just never thought that this would happen because Warner Brothers makes these games,
Yeah.
and Warner Brothers competing with Marvel on a very big level with Disney. Like, you don't see a Disney Lego game or anything like that, you know? So I thought it was very strange. I liked the first one a whole lot.
Yeah.
It was really good. I don't care because I still think Lego Dimensions is the way to go, and I'd much rather have a set and just buy that. But
I would
it's
understand
cool.
this a lot more if we were like in 2019, 2020, once this like phase that Marvel was in is over. This one's just kind of right smack dab in the middle of stuff, which is why I think they have to throw in a bunch of, hey, here's MCU, but here's other things to kind of like fill in.
Yeah, well, I mean, all the games have like 200 characters.
Yeah.
Like, it gets to the point where you're playing the guy who cleaned the streets of New York after the aliens attacked. Like,
Oh, Sweeper Man.
yeah, Sweeper Joe. Yeah, so it gets to the point where you're playing those characters, and I don't think it matters at that point who you throw in. Like,
Yeah.
I was playing the most irrelevant, stupid stuff in the other Marvel game, you know, like
Yeah.
Squirrel Girl and stuff. And like,
She's not irrelevant or stupid.
she's both those things.
I'll fight you.
And it's like, whatever. Like, they just have such a big catalog character. I just think it's weird that, one, this is a full game, like, similar to Star Wars. I guess Star Wars is a Disney one. Mess that up. But similar to Star Wars, it's its own title and not like part of the Lego Dimensions thing. And 2, that they would even do that when they literally have the Justice League as playable characters in Lego Dimensions. And
just the timing is the thing that bugs me the most about it.
Oh yeah, it comes out the same day as Battlefront as well. So
that also.
Speaking of Star Wars,
that could be rough.
The actual timing and the timing of them just putting out a new Marvel game, because there hasn't really been much.
Well, that's because they got rid of their studio. The Marvel they got rid of the game studio, and now they're working with Insomniac to do Spider-Man, Telltale to do Guardians, Marvel vs. Capcom, and Square Enix to do the Avengers stuff.
Yep.
So we're going to see Marvel games very soon.
Probably
at
about
E3,
a year.
We will start seeing what's going on with all that stuff. So, well, some of it, like Telltale's one's out, but
I mean, it's
at least 1/5 of it's out.
First episode, yeah.
Inkling Girl had a gesture removed in a patch 1.1 for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Basically, whenever you'd hit someone with a shell or whatever it is you do, she'd go like this, looking at the other character. I thought it was kind of clever. It was like the Rosie the Riveter pose. And I'm like, oh, it's Squid Girl. I get it. That's funny. People are like, she's telling me to fuck off. So now she just
flipping me off.
Now she just flexes her muscle. And she doesn't.
That's cooler though. I'll take that.
Over it. Hey, it's fine. I don't know.
Either one's it's the same thing. Like,
flexing's pretty cool.
Yeah, but Squid Girl is who I would play if Craig would bring that game over.
Craig, ruin everything.
I don't care about the deluxe version of that game except for the Squid Girl and the Splatoon level. That's all I want to play.
That's fine.
I want to play local multiplayer. I just want to play it online.
Oh yeah, I don't want to play online. Bunch of real good people. I don't know if you've
ever
played Mario Kart
I mean,
online.
I just don't want to play.
I have no clue how people are so good at that game.
I just don't want to play the Switch online at this moment.
Oh,
that's where I was going with that.
All 6 of you.
Still, Switch best-selling console. I was telling you,
Ever?
Switch best-selling console of the month.
Well, I mean, that makes sense.
Do you know what the second best-selling console was?
No, I do not.
The Nintendo Classic.
Fair enough.
I was like, that's a strange statistic.
They're doing good, I guess.
Speaking of things that are not doing so good, I guess. Scalebound. So the rights for Scalebound have been renewed by Microsoft.
Maybe.
Basically, so this was sort of confusing, but I honestly think it's just like hey, nobody can like superhero in under us and be like Scalebound exclusive for the Switch, or I wouldn't run the Switch exclusive for the PlayStation 4. I think that this was just them preventing that. I don't know who owns Scalebound. I tried to look it up and I couldn't find it, but I do know that Sunset Overdrive, which was made by Insomniac, was supposed to be a PS4 exclusive, and Sony wouldn't let them have the IP. And that's one of the deals that Sony makes. Like, Sony owns the Order 1886, even though that company is not working on that game anymore and not part of Sony, they own it. They own Bloodborne. Like, From Software doesn't have to make the next Bloodborne. It's a Sony thing.
Sure.
And they wouldn't do that deal with Sunset Overdrive. They were like, we want to own it. So they went to Microsoft because Microsoft let them make the game and still own it. And I imagine Scalebound's probably the same deal where Microsoft was like, yes, you can own it. And because of that, if they own that stuff, they can be like, see ya, we're going to, this place. So this may have just been them covering themselves so that they don't look really stupid if the game comes out for something
another
else.
PS4 exclusive itself.
It was actually me that bought it because I'm really after this belt this year, and that was one of my yearly predictions.
Dang.
So
that's commitment.
There's actually rumors, and of course there's always rumors coming into E3, and they're always wrong. Like PlayStation All-Stars Round 2 has been rumored every year at E3, and it never shows up.
It's been rumored for
makes me so mad. But there's rumors that the Spyro Collection is happening. I'd get a point.
Don't do that.
Do it next year.
Sweet.
No, I mean, you can release the game, just don't do that to my heart. Get me excited for something and then it not show up.
But yeah, Scalebound. Do we think
All-Stars 2?
Spyro.
Oh, man, All-Stars 2. Do we think Scalebound's ever going to show up?
I think they're trying.
I'd like it too.
I think they're trying to kill it, and I think they'll be successful, unfortunately.
Yeah,
I want to play the game. Yeah,
I don't think we're gonna.
I'd like it too, not just for the belt, but like
no,
it actually seemed like a cool
to.
idea. So
I
don't care if someone like Sony eventually picks it up or Switch.
You just want to play it.
Yeah,
some random guy
I want
puts it
that
on
concept
Steam,
to come to fruition. So
Phantom Dust released on the Xbox One. This was kind of a stealth announcement. They were like, "Hey, Phantom Dust, Xbox One comes out tomorrow." It came out for free. It apparently has microtransactions. I haven't looked. Do you know if there's microtransactions?
Yes, there
are. Have you played it?
I saw the ad for it when I was turning my Wii U on because I got to go through the Xbox, but no, I hadn't played it.
I was like, why did you see it when you turned your Wii U on?
Because it goes through the Xbox.
I have purposefully avoided it.
I haven't played it either, so there's our expert opinion on that one. Moving on, the MPD has released, as I was talking about with the consoles and such, and the most money made. So this is not copies sold.
Yeah, it's not units, it's money.
Most money made for the top 10 selling games so far this year have been released. And did you guys see the list?
No.
At all?
I saw it, I don't remember, but
It's very not what I thought.
I only remember like 2 things on it.
So some of them are obvious, like number 10 is MLB The Show, which sports games do well. Number 9, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Call of Duty's always on there.
Surprise.
Number 8, NBA 2K17. Number 7, Grand Theft Auto 5. And then we get into this year's games, like the big games for this year. So we had Resident Evil 7, which I'm happy that game's up there.
Doing well, yeah.
We have Mass Effect, Andromeda, and then we have Horizon. So the exclusive Sony game outsold the third party games, which is real big. Then we have Breath of the Wild, which isn't super surprising. And then the top 2, For Honor, and number 1, Ghost Recon Wildlands. I forgot that game came out.
A lot of people bought that game, so
I
played that beta and was just like, okay.
Single person.
For Honor, that's sweet.
Yeah.
I'm glad it made
Ghost Recon.
Number
shocking.
1.
Like, the traffic for things with Ghost Recon isn't high. Like, For Honor's at least decent.
Yeah.
Like, traffic for stuff with Ghost Recon isn't high. I've never seen somebody, like, streaming Ghost Recon. Like, it's just real strange.
I'm glad that it is up there, though, because that means more potential Ghost Recon in the future.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily like this style of Ghost Recon game. Like, I would like it, but there's so much to play.
I like the old Ghost Recons quite a lot.
Yeah, I love the first.
Yeah, if they started doing that
one
again,
one kill.
Yep.
If they started doing that again, sweet, awesome. And if this is how that's going to happen by this game doing well, so be it.
It keeps it alive. Then.
And For Honor being up there
Siege
is awesome.
did the same thing. Like, it's one of those things, they put out their game and then it just stabilizes the whole year. That seems to be what their games do.
At least through the 360
like,
and original Xbox life cycles, there is a very dedicated Ubisoft core group of people, and it seems like they still exist.
They're still out there.
Magically.
Yeah, and
even after The Division, I figured that would have killed the remnants
Me too. I don't
that
get
population
it personally.
Out,
but in that investor meeting, they also talked about there is a new game coming out, like a unannounced another game, Splinter Cell. For the love of God, please be Splinter Cell. I think it will. I think we're going to see Splinter Cell at E3.
Not happening.
E3 predictions, fun episode. We'll probably be doing that in what is it? 21st. 2 weeks? Sounds about right.
2 3 weeks, something like that. Yeah.
Sure.
Sounds about right.
Maybe do it the week before.
Yeah. Let's move on to the viewer questions. If you want to be part of the show, go ahead and leave a question or comment down below. World's End commenting on a whole bunch of videos. We took a week off, so we're a little bit behind with answering these. But basically, we talked about Capcom putting their games on PS4 because we got Resident Evil Code Veronica. He wants Onimusha, which that's another good one to throw in there. He talked about Phantom Dust having microtransactions and being 30 frames per second. Sounds about right.
Yep.
Surprise, the game's out, so it makes a little more sense why it has microtransactions, at least, is because it was free. And then he threw down the top 10 list. We did a top 10 PS3 list.
Oh, PS3.
Very interesting. I'm going from top to bottom, 1 to 10. Batman Arkham City, Mafia 2, Naruto, Ultimate Ninja Storm, Transformers Wars for Cybertron, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, the best Assassin's Creed, God of War 3, Demon Souls, Heavenly Sword, Lollipop Chainsaw, and Infamous 2. Very action-heavy. All action games.
Yeah.
Lots of hack and slash and things like that. Seems like a big fan of hack and slashes.
Seems that way.
I liked Lollipop Chainsaw. I played that recently.
I knew you would say something about that game.
Yeah.
Gareth would appreciate the Transformers mention.
Oh
on there.
yeah, Gareth, big Transformers.
Yeah, that Naruto game was supposed to be really, really good too.
As far as
Just
internet and social media, that Naruto game blew up
huge,
when it came out.
Also, so did, to be fair, Arkham City.
Yeah,
People
sure.
love Arkham City.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually like Knight the best out of all of them, which is a very unpopular opinion. I just think that game needed to end about 7 hours earlier than it did. But I liked all of them.
You love the Batmobile parts?
They weren't bad until the end of the game, and then they're like, now use your Batmobile, now use your Batmobile, now. And I'm like, okay, game.
Can we cut this off?
Yeah, just stop playing that game and watch the ending. Like, once you start getting annoyed at it, and you'll be fine. So, 2 weeks ago, we talked about games that people love, that we hate.
Yeah.
And when I say, I shouldn't really say hate or whatever, but not talking about things that we don't understand. Like, we see why people would like it, and it's just not for us. Like, if you don't like hack and slashes, you wouldn't like a lot of the games on that list type thing. I'm talking about games that you do not understand why people like them so much.
Mm-hmm.
And I had some more. This is basically part 2 of this. I was going through the comments of that video, and I was like, man, I thought of a whole bunch more that I wanted to talk about.
Well, anytime
so
we do lists and stuff like that,
you always come up
yeah.
with more. Yeah. So this is kind of part 2 of that. So
and I think I mentioned one of the games on your list, and it just relit that fire.
That is true. Because there's a
Yeah.
sequel coming. Or I guess I shouldn't say sequel. There's another game in the series. I don't know what it's going to be. Life is Strange. Life is Strange.
Not the best.
That is a game I do not understand why people like it so much. I think they like the idea of it and not the actual game, because similar to my complaints with BioShock, but even more obvious with this, the game just doesn't make sense fundamentally. Her powers do not make sense. Like, she would literally be teleporting all over the place if that's how her powers worked. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is a little plot hole, a little oversight. And then one of the characters makes reference to it in the game. And she's like, oh, you unlocked that door. How'd you get over there? And I'm like, well, I teleported because that's what would happen.
They use it to get around stuff.
If I was using my powers, you would literally be teleporting. The story just felt so dramatic for...
melodramatic.
Yeah, for no reason.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh my gosh. I hated
Because my thing about
almost
the game
every character.
is I really liked the first chapter because it was...
I liked the first 20 minutes.
30 minutes hour. Okay, I'll give you that. Yeah.
I don't...
the first 20 minutes.
Like, I saw exactly what was going to happen in the story as soon as it hit the beat of what was going to happen, and I knew nothing... I don't care about Splatoon. I knew nothing was going to matter because I knew what her powers were, and I knew exactly how this was going to end. And I'm like, nothing I'm picking matters in this game. Like, it's literally going to be a binary choice at the end. I don't care about these characters, so I'm like, I'm going to fuck up as many of their lives as I can. And that I did. You thought you killed people in Beyond Two Souls. I was like, oh.
I murdered people.
Let me
Not
ruin
on the scale you did. But.
Let me ruin everybody's life.
Yeah, there was just a point
strange.
in that game where it just derailed, like, mood-wise for me, and I was just like, I'm just not into...
You beat it, though.
These characters. Yeah, I beat it.
Yeah.
I thought it was, like, mediocre to fine, but...
Yeah. It's the wrong opinion.
That's all I got. That's the nicest I'll be.
Yeah, I just didn't like any character in this game.
Yeah, me neither. And like they try to like hook you up with this one kid, and at the end it's like you can hug them and kiss them, or
Kick
like
him
you
in the
can
face.
leave them. I'm like, bye, dude. Like I don't even know your name. I don't like you. Go
Game
away.
was super predictable too. Like usually in these types
that was
of games,
a huge problem with it. I knew what the ending was going to be. There is a twist, but it's not much of a twist. Like I was just like, this sucks. And then your powers stop working whenever because plot.
Just because.
Yeah, they're like, oh, now they're... Because with time travel powers and, like, rewind time powers specifically...
You can fix just about
You
anything.
can fix things. Like, there's no tension or no problem. So how do we do that? Oh, no, my powers aren't working right now. Oh, now there's a problem, and I can't solve it with my superpowers. Like... Oh no, life is how it's supposed to be now. Oh no. This is so terrible.
I'm not special anymore.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, so that's a big one for me.
The last chapter was real weird.
Yeah,
too.
there's a lot.
It was just
bad
it went
stuff.
off
You go to
into
that
dimension.
like, club in the school and everybody. I don't know.
Yeah, that was weird.
Whatever.
It was just an odd game.
It had
A
some,
strange game even.
I'm done with you.
Nick, what do you got?
My first one, Minecraft.
Oh, that's fair.
You just build stuff.
People like to build stuff.
I like Little Big Planet.
Like for me, at least nowadays, I feel like I need one of like three things, either like a good story or like a story for me to play the game, whether it's good or bad.
Minecraft story mode.
Telltale covering everything.
A story mode, characters, or like a goal. And you just sort of make up all three in this game.
The goal is to build stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to say it was made for a young audience because I don't actually think it was, but it was definitely picked up by
a little
a certain-
complicated for that.
There's just a certain
audience.
niche that it works with. Like,
well, it's not. It's more than a niche. It's like
a very
the
big
second
niche.
best-selling game ever.
I don't know. Like, I feel like I would rather play with like Legos or something if it were me.
Well, that's exactly what the game is. This is Legos for kids nowadays.
Yeah.
Like that's literally what the game is.
Yeah, I would rather like build something with Legos or like build Gundam models or something. Like if I was putting that part of my brain to use.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean that's just what it is.
Gunpla?
So it's literally, I mean, just with like a bunch of movies and a bunch of TV series and stuff like that. I think it's just generation gap.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I know people that love this game, and they're almost all younger. And then Jordan, I guess Jordan's younger. But they're almost all like much younger. And like the game's cool. I think if I was 5 years younger, I would be
5 years old.
Or that I would be all over this game, and I would love it, and it would be the only game that I play.
Maybe.
No,
Because I talk about Little Big Planet, I put dozens and dozens and
That you
dozens
did,
of
yeah, I remember
hours
that.
into that game.
Yeah.
And even Mario Maker, like I sat and I made levels. I didn't put that much time into it, but I sat and I made levels. And if I had Minecraft when I was a kid, I would have went crazy. But like, just too late. I turn it on and I'm like, oh, you give me the game. Like, how about that? How about you make the game and I play it because I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm with Nick. I'd rather just build stuff with my hands. Like I actually have a Gundam model to work on.
Like an arcade cabinet.
I'm not building your arcade cabinet.
Damn it.
Well.
I could if I wanted to. I don't want to. If I build one, I'm keeping it.
Damn. How about you, Kellen? Do you have any more that you...
Only one I came up with was Minecraft because I don't understand it either. But I kind of see it, but it's boring by yourself. I don't see people who play it all day by themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not one of those.
It's setting your own goals and accomplishing
I'm not good
them.
at doing stuff like that.
Not something for Kellen.
Yeah,
No.
I can't even get
that
here to
game
film on
for
time.
me isn't.
There was no time set, so I show up when I show up.
It is 1 o'clock in the morning.
No, it's not.
Almost.
That game for me isn't it sucks and I don't get it. It's just I don't get it because I'm old or something, I guess.
That's fair.
So
You are old.
Another one for me was Gone Home. People talk about the walking simulator, and I like walking simulators. Like some people are like, and I don't understand that because they're fantastic. But this one is held as top 2. Like there's like Stanley Parable, which is really high up there. And then like Gone Home. And I just do not understand why people like the game so much. I think they like it just because it tells a story that isn't told very often in video games, but I don't think it's told very well. I don't think like it's that the mystery that you're unraveling, I don't think is that interesting. I feel like you kind of know what's coming and you know what's happening. Like I was just like, and I I love my Firewatch and I love Everybody's Gone to the Rapture and these games. I play a lot of them, and there's many that I haven't played that I want to play. But I got to this one and I was super excited to start it because maybe it was a hype thing that hurt it for me. But I was super excited to start it because people were loving it and giving it Game of the Year and all this stuff. I was man, I got to play Gone Home. And I played it and I beat it and I was like still waiting for the oh my gosh, this is amazing moment, and it never came. And I was like, well, there's the credits. I was like, all right. So I don't know. Maybe it's like people with Beyond and why it was out of order. They were just like, "Where's the aha? Now this is amazing." And I was just like, "Where is it?"
I've been hearing how mediocre it was for years, so my expectations were
I
very
don't
high.
think I don't think that game's mediocre at all.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, yeah, Gone Home's another one for me. I just
my last one on this list at least is Fallout 3.
interesting.
People love the shit out of that game, and I just don't get it. The story for me was probably one of the worst RPG stories I've ever run across. I mean, as far
Western
as spoilers
RPG?
go, I don't want to get too far
Too
into
big.
it, but like it really boiled down to it was one of those like 30-40 hour games or something like that. I forget the amount of time, but like nothing you did really mattered, and you got to the end and it was just like I just play the game for this, sort of thing. Like no sense of satisfaction, fulfillment, reward. Like the story just dropped and didn't do anything. The weapon break system was terrible. I hate weapon break. Like, that's number 2 on the list. Number 1 is timed. Number 2 is my stuff breaking. Like, why? it never makes sense.
Takes damage.
You should play Dark Cloud.
But it was
Ugh.
like before Breath of the Wild came out, this was my number 1 game of bad examples of stuff breaking and just like hurting the experience for me. Zelda took the lead on that one for me.
Mine was Mass Effect Andromeda. Ooh.
Well, never worked for you at least. So
Fair enough.
Break it just showed up that way. I didn't like or connect or enjoy any of the characters in that Fallout game, and like I just remember like being like angry finishing it, just like one of those, just like screw it, I'm just gonna finish it for the achievements and.
Did you play New Vegas?
A little bit.
A little bit.
I was still mad at Fallout 3, so I was just like, oh,
yeah,
Fallout's
it seems
in the
like
title.
there's 2 camps, and there's people who really like New Vegas and are like, Fallout 3,
that's
and
true.
then there's people who like Fallout 3 and like, New Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 was boring to me,
Yeah.
as are most Elder Scrolls games. So I think those games are boring.
Well, yeah, that's the big switch off with me is that I really like Oblivion, Skyrim, stuff like that, and Morrowind.
Morrowind's real boring.
But it's like the same team that makes both for the most part, at least back then. And like they swung and missed so hard on Fallout 3, and then Oblivion, Skyrim exists, and it's just like, what were these guys doing? So I don't know. It totally missed for me, big time.
I just thought of a terrible game that people love. Mega Man.
Man, you're a horrible human being.
Yeah, I just want to make you mad for giving me this.
Man, the Kingdom Hearts thing was just real wrong.
I hate that game. It's so bad.
You know nothing about it.
And I plan to keep it that way. I know enough about it.
So game releases for the week, basically just listing a couple of them. We don't have Gareth doing the write-ups.
He's got something better.
You can't lose this week.
Yeah. You haven't won one. I was looking over the score.
Don't plan on it either.
Me and you have a point.
Yeah.
Gareth's got like 48 points or something.
Something like that. Yeah, I don't even think we should count his because he's obviously going to win.
You don't know that. We should add ours together and compete.
Ooh.
2 to 48.
All right, so
Still not helping there.
what are some things coming out this week?
May 23rd, we get Darksiders War Mastered Edition for the Wii U.
Cool.
Yeah, they just announced Darksiders 3. It's cool to get that. For the Wii U's weird. It's been out on everything else, I believe. Probably the last big Wii U game. So enjoy.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Disgaea 5 Complete for the Switch.
If you have a Switch, buy it.
Yep. You've got several options for the Switch.
That game is excellent.
The game's cool. I played the demo of it. Nick has it. Impact Winter for PC.
Got nothing with that.
Yeah.
Fake game.
I was just going to keep going.
I like Winter. And Impact?
Mirage Arcane Warfare for PC.
Is this the fake one?
Samurai Warrior Spirit of Sonata for PS4 and PC.
Yeah, this is why we get it wrong, because we listen to these and we could pick out our fake games and there's not even one. It's horrible.
Still Division Normandy 44 for PC.
If I was making games, I would avoid the phrase or word, anything with division in it for like the next 5 years.
Unless it's a math game called like Long Division.
I would rather do that than play Division again.
I like the Division. I don't know what this word is. Utawa Rirumono Mask of Deception for the PS4 and Vita.
Real game?
Yeah, it's for the Vita. May 26th. Friday the 13th for PS4, Xbone, and PC.
Probably picking this one up. I've been watching streams of it. I'm real excited. I don't even watch streams, and I've been watching streams of this game.
I hope you do buy it.
Really want to play it. Yeah, I hope it's I looked on their website. They still are like, we're working on the cross thing. We have nothing to announce right now. We want it. We're working with all of them to try and get it.
Everyone involved.
I'm hoping they said that they're trying to get like the trifecta, the Xbox, PS4, and PC, and I think they're gonna have a problem with that. I think what's happening is
Xbox doesn't like to share.
Yeah, one of them doesn't want to be with the other, and I think it's messing them up. I really hope that they get it though, because I'd like to play that with you. So much so, I would get it on PC and play it on PC if that's the only.
It's the only
way to do it. Yeah.
Because my PS4 expired. Xbox.
God damn it.
At least he didn't get hacked.
Not this time.
Yet.
If I did get hacked, I would probably get even on PS4, Xbone, and PC. Guilty Gear.
Why would you get that?
I don't know. I don't even know what it is. Guilty Gear Xrd Rev 2, PS4, Xbone, PC, PS3.
You actually pronounced that right.
It's pure luck. Rhyme, PS4, Xbone, and PC.
I want that game too. That's like
Rhyme's coming out.
Ico meets Zelda, sort of.
Ish.
I like one of those things.
Meets The Witness, honestly.
Ico's cool.
Ico is really cool. I love Ico. But yeah, I want that game too. Crap.
No, Rhyme.
I like the
Right.
fighting game that comes out in between Injustice and
In
Tekken.
between the fighting games. The actual fighting games.
Ultra Street Fighter 2, the final
and then
challengers
there's that one.
for the Switch.
That's cool.
That is cool.
They basically updated a however old game and added 2 new characters, and
Are
really
they the
cool.
final challengers?
Well, I don't know at this point.
I don't care to know how old Street Fighter 2 is because it's probably my age.
Yeah. But we had like Street Fighter 2 and Street Fighter 2 Turbo and Championship Edition or something. And
There's a bunch.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them, and then they're just like, here's another 2D Street Fighter 2. New characters that are just kind of copy and paste to the other characters, but whatever.
Yeah.
And online play and everything. I'm like, that's really cool.
For the Switch.
Yeah, until you hop online on the Switch and
And it's less cool.
No.
If that came out to a console that I owned, I would consider getting it. Though, apparently, I have a bunch of stuff to get this week that I did not know about.
Like Rhyme?
Like Rhyme and Friday the 13th, possibly. And
Impact Winter?
no, I don't want
Disgaea 5?
I don't want Long Division. I don't want any of this.
Long Division. I do like Long Division. It's fun.
All right. Well, that's it for this episode of the Press X Podcast. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment down below to be part of the show. Thank you for being here. Nick?
You've made Nick
Got
I'm
him.
out of beer.
You drove Nick to drinking.
He drove me to drinking.
Huh.
Thank you for being
I drove
here.
here to drink.
He's got a point.
That is true, actually.
Kellen?
Yeah.
And thank you guys so much for watching. We'll speak with you next time.
All right.